party people! Hello, it's Randee for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am so excited today because I am here with some wonderful components from Jesse James Beads. And I've got 4 projects planned for the month of December. The projects are going to come out every Thursday for the month of December using only Jesse James Beads components. So if you're not familiar with Jesse James Beads, I've left some links down in the description box for you. Also, there's a referral link down there for all of these items that we're going to use. There's a materials list. What else is down there in the description? There is links to my website, Thunderhorse Descendant. If you're not familiar with me, I am a maker from Minnesota. I recently started my handmade business in 2018, and I just started doing YouTube last year. I think it was like last December. And so that's a little bit about me. I am the sole proprietor of Thunderhorse Descendant, which is jewelry, gifts, you know, different handmade items, as I'm sure you guys are watching this are familiar with handmade goings-ons. So, I've been very blessed in the fact that I have been working from home since 2018. I am a retired drug addiction counselor from Minneapolis, and I have just been getting into the online community. And one of the first places that I went when I wanted to get into the online community for beading, I found Jesse James Beads. And I got involved with their group. They have a secret stash group, and I got involved there. And it's just been a wonderful experience. And now they've given your girl here an affiliate link. So if you go down to that description and you see a link for one of these items, you can click it, go there. If you happen to make a purchase, you are going to be supporting me. I get a small kickback from that, and which is awesome. But if you also just go over to the website and check out their stuff, they always have deals and sales and stuff going on. And yeah, so I got these 4 projects planned. This is the first one. I'm going to insert a photo to show you the project that we're going to do. I also want to mention timestamps. Down here in the description box, I'm leaving timestamps for this video, so it makes it easier to navigate. If you are watching and you're making and you need to pause, or you want to like skip ahead a chapter, or you already know how to do that, or you need to rewatch how to do something that we're doing, you can use those timestamps to navigate this video, which is super awesome. And then all that information that I discussed is going to be down there for you. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, so these are all of the items that we are going to be using today for our project. So let's just start out. We're going to talk about all of these products, but this is what in general we're working with. It's also in the description if you need a list. So this is the orange bell pepper mini mix, the Design Elements Toho Firecracker Mix, the Big Girl Chain, which I'm super excited about that. Got some of the Orange Fairy Silk. This one is called Orange Cream Soda. And then we have these 2 chains. We have a black enamel dangle chain and then a flower beaded metal chain. And so these are all the items that we're going to be using. I'm going to get this mini mix out and we're going to take a look-see at it. So let me just switch mats here real quick. All right, guys. So we are going to take a look at these 2. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these firecracker 11-0 firecracker Toho beads out, so we can really take a look at them. And what I have planned today, if you've seen the photo, you're like, oh, Randee, Are we being a little ambitious? And, you know, we might be. But originally that design started with an earring. And I was like, oh, I'll make some earrings. And then it turned into a little something else. So, 11 O's. Okay. So if you're following along, 11 O's is what we're got here. Got one more staple in there. There we go. And so I really liked these because orange is one of my favorite colors, and these are very vibrant. So I'm just going to put them out in these little bowls. Static electricity. Come on now. There we go. So look how bright these are. These are like almost like a neon yellow. I love them. Then we have the orange. And this guy. Get in there. Whoop. So don't be like me and be losing all of your little beads. Make sure they stay in their little package. And we have the red. Okay. So I am not by any means like a big seed beater or anything. I have been in the past, but they got some real intricate stuff nowadays with the bead weaving and everything. So let me just disclaimer, I am not that. But these are the colors that we're going to be working with, and I'm super excited. I think when you guys start to see this project come to life, you're going to be like, oh, okay. So now we have the bell pepper mix, and we're not really going to be using too much of this until we get through to the stringing portion of the project. But I just, to get everything talked about here, I'm just going to sort it out a little bit, show you what we're working with in this mix. And I think that's one of the super cool things is that you get a lot of different types of beads. So I like to do bead stringing. And I really like to utilize Jesse James beads for bead stringing because you get all these different types of beads. So we are going to be using in our project some of these dangly drops right here. And we're going to be using these little mini tassels. And let's get these all sorted. And I really like this mix. When I got it, I was like, oh, okay. What are we going to do with that? Because I really like orange. Look at these. These are metal. Super cute. And we got some bead caps. These are those like little lotus ones. Got some bead caps. And these little guys. These little drop guys. Yay. Got some pearls. Well, I don't know if they're pearls. They're glass. They're kind of like matte, which that's fun. I love a good matte. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love everything sparkly, but I also really like matte. To me, it just seems like a little more sophisticated, you know? But I like to just do all the things. All right, so we got some Chinese crystal in here. You guys, look at these little things. Let me put them in here. So, Can you see those? They have like etching on them. Super cute. And then a few little crystals, and this one goes over here. All right, so this is what we got. This is what we got in our, let me give you the overview. This is what we got in the bell pepper mix, the orange bell pepper. And then we're going to mix it with these Toho beads and our fairy silk and all of our chain, and I'm super excited. Okay, so these are the beads that we're going to be using today. I'm going to clear this mat off and we're going to get started on our project. Yay! All right, guys, so first things first, what we're going to do is we are going to take this, they call this the big girl chain on the website, and it is like a chained necklace. You can see, like, you could just pop this out of the bag and wear it if you want. But what we're going to do is, to start this project out, we're going to make a pendant. So I'm going to start by making the pendant, and then we'll do the stringing. So for the pendant portion of this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to do some brick stitching. So I'm going to grab this chain up, and I'm going to cut one of these little tiny guys. I know we have to sacrifice one. We have to sacrifice. And what I'm attempting to get at here is I'm trying to get to, I guess we're sacrificing 3 links. That is completely up to you, but if you look at that, how many's on that chain that you're getting? Let's see, the big girl chain. You are getting a lot of textured links on here. And I was excited mostly about this, which was the whole part of this project. When I saw this, I was like, okay. You know what I could do with all those links? I love links. Anyways, I digress. What we're doing is we've cut off so that we have 2 like this. Okay. And we are going to brick stitch around these. We are going to hang some dangles, and that's going to be our pendant for when we start to string. So what I'm going to use to do the brick stitching is I am using gray Wildfire from Beadalon. So if you don't have, I would prefer to use green for this project. Somebody told me once, they were like, Randee, if you don't know what to use, just use green. But I used up all my green, so I'm using gray. You use whatever color you want. And I'm going to take 1 full wingspan. So I just wanted to show you, this is what they look like new in the package, size 10-13. So I'm using, it looks like the longer one, the 13. And so these are from Beadsmith. I get these at Tillersville's Bead Store. I'm assuming you can get them at any craft store. But these are what they look like, 10-13 size. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm just going to thread my needle here, and we're going to get started with brick stitching around these links. So what I'm going to do is I have the end of my thread, and I'm going to squish it so it's flat, so that it's easier for me to thread through this needle. Okay, so that's a nice trick. Now, we're not doubling this up or anything. We're just going to put it through there. So we're just using 1 strand. You don't have to tie a knot right now or anything. And let us just start out with the small link. So let me be more specific. On the big girl chain, you have large, small, and medium. So what I have is the medium and the large. Okay, so we're going to start with the medium one. And if you've never brick stitched before, okay, no worries. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to take our link and we're just going to tie a knot. You don't have to worry too much about we're just tying an overhand knot onto this link to get started. That's all we're doing, just an overhand knot, okay? And so, for the time being, we're going to leave that little tail there, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to then bring in our seed beads. And I'm going to arrange them like so. Yellow, orange, red. And we are going to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the yellow. And I'm going to pick up 2 yellow beads. Bring them down to the link. Okay, down to the link. And here's what we're going to do. You go take your needle through the link, bring your string through, okay. Bring your string through, okay, and you are going to then go through this top one. So you want to make sure that this strand is coming through the link, and then you're going to go like so. Okay, so now to tack this down, we're going to go back through the first one, going down. No problems. And to get back up where we were before, we're just going to go back through the top one. Second one. So now your string should be coming out of the second bead. So now what we can do is we're going to take our thread zapper. If you don't have a thread zapper, just get yourself a little cutter and get close up to this knot. Got my thread zapper, just push the button, wait for it to warm up a second, and just zap that right on off of there. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, let me just put a few of these out here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a yellow bead. So let me tell you my plan so you know. My plan is to do 5 yellow, 5 orange, 5 red. So right here we have 2. So I've put on another yellow bead. Bring that down to the other beads. Take your needle, go from the back through the link. Don't get hung up on your scissor over here. Okay. So you want to make sure that this bead is staying on the back side of the link. Okay. So then we go through the bead. And show you. And so before we pull it tight, this is what it looks like. So just set him down there next to the others. Okay, if you're familiar with brick stitch, feel free to get in that description and move on to the next step with the timestamps, which is why I put it in there. So now this is number 4. Okay, so we got him down there. Go through the back of the link. I just kind of hold on to him a little bit. And then, see, when you pull him to the side, he's going to kind of go crookedy, you know? So in order to get him sitting straight up, you have to remember to go through there. And again, this is what he looks like before we pull him tight. And once you get going on this, it'll pretty much like set itself down. Okay. So now this is number 5. Okay, number 5. Do the same thing. And now we have 5. Now we're going to switch to orange. Okay, get a few of the orange out. Now, if you wanted to skip this step and just do 2 links together with a jump ring for your pendant, you could totally do that as well, because I'll show you once we get going here. This actually really doesn't take too much time. But you could do that because we're going to put dangles on the larger jump ring. I'm sorry, on the larger of the loops. Let me zoom you out a little bit. So I'm just going now. If you need to go back and, you know, see more about how to do this brick stitch, please go back to the description where it says, in the description to the timestamps where it says brick stitching yellow beads, because that's where I'm really showing how. Right now I'm just continuing on with my project because I don't want this video to be 800 years long. And I'm doing orange. So this is my last orange one, and then we're going to switch to red. Okay. Hey, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Yeah, you guys, I was so excited when I saw these links in there. I was like, yes. Okay, so now we got 5 yellow and 5 orange. So now we're going to put a little red. Okay. So I wanted to do this whole extravagance with the brick stitch and, you know, add dangles and drops and all of that, but I was like, you know what? Let's just keep it simple here, Randee. And if I want to do the earrings, I can do those in another video, because this is my YouTube channel and I can do that if I want to. One of the joys of, you know, doing your own YouTube, I guess. So I do get your guys' comments, and I try to listen to the feedback the best that I can, because I used to fast forward this portion, and some people said, you know, we don't really like when you do that, because, you know, so that's when I started doing more of the timestamp situation, because it can be kind of like, okay, you know, some people are more advanced than others, and some people, you know, don't care to see like the whole situation. So anyways, okay, so we got 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so we're got 5 on each side here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to yellow. You know what, am I going to do that? Let's just take a look-see here. I'm like, do I want to do that? Or do I just want to leave it like that? You know, I think I might just leave it like this. Looks pretty good. I am going to leave it. um, so now, for those of you who maybe are not familiar, if you wanted to, I'm not going to do this because, you know, we've done enough brick stitching for today. But you can go back through these little bridges on the top. You could put more beads. You know, you could hang dangles if you wanted. But for the purpose of this video, I am going to just tie this off. In order to tie it off, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to backtrack through this second bead. Okay, I'm going to go through the front to follow that string around. And I'm going to flip this over so I can see what I'm doing here. And I'm just going to grab a hold of this stitch, the second stitch right here on the ring. And I'm going to do what they call a half-hitch knot. So basically you just pull your string until you get a little loop. And then you put your needle through the loop from the back, coming towards you. And you're going to get a little half-hitch knot when you pull it tight. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go back up through this bead. Okay, so I'm going through the second bead, so there's my little knot, and I'm going to go back up straight through that bead. Just going to pull it down, and this is just to get the knot kind of goes inside that bead there, you see? And that's it. I'm going to take my thread burner. Where's that at? And I'm going to be real careful here when I'm burning threads up. Okay. Because you don't want to hit your bridge. The bridge is this part that goes between the beads. So just be careful you don't hit that, but you want to get it enough so you can't tell it's there. And, okay, now we move on. All right, so here we are. So we have our brick stitching done on our medium link, right? And we're just going to take the larger link, put it over the top, get yourself a jump ring, and put that on both. Okay. And now we are going to put some dangles on here on the bottom. And we're going to use our bell pepper mix. So let me move that over here. And I wanted to use some of these from the bell pepper mix. And also some of these like little tasselies. I don't know which ones I want to use yet. These ones are cute. All right, let me zoom you out a little bit. So I'm just going to move these over here so you can kind of see them more what we're working with. So I am going to then use some 22 gauge wire. This is gold 22 gauge wire. And we are going to start doing some wire wrapping here. Let's see. Should we just put these tassels at the end of each wire? I like these. Let's try this. All right, so we're going to do a little wire wrapping. So we're going to take our round nose plier and put it kind of in the middle because I want kind of a larger loop here. You could also use your single looper if you'd like. And we're just going to make a loop. We're going to put our tassel onto the loop, just like this. Take our chain nose to hold it in place. Now, I always hit this with my thumbnail just to give a little bend, so it's easier to kind of work with. And I'm going to go around 1, 2, 2.5. 2.5, 3 is probably good. I'm going to flush cut this off. And then make sure that it's tucked in. You don't want it to bite anybody. And then we can put whatever little dangles we want on here. So I'm just going to go over here. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going over here to the bell pepper mix. And I'm going to grab some of these cute little crystals. And I'm just going to start putting them on there. Doo-doo-doo. Ooh, this one's cool. I think I might want to use that one in the stringing part of my necklace, so I'm not going to use that. But I'm just using these little, like, watermelon colored ones. They are super cute. And I'm going to also grab a few of these orange little seed beads because we want to tie that in too. 3, 4, 5, 6. Isn't that the cutest? Oh, it looks good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to wire wrap. Again, I'm moving to the middle. And what I do is I leave enough space here for when I turn my plier, I want the top of my plier to kind of snug up against my bead. And that's how I know I'll have enough for wrapping. Okay, so you spin this over the top, spin it, and then you have your loop. I'm going to take this loop and I'm going to put it on our pendant. So this is our pendant, and I'm going to hang all the dangles off the larger ring. And I'm just going to wire wrap them on here. If you want to, you can use jump rings to put them on, you know. So then if you wanted to rearrange them, you could, or whatever. Go for it. I just am going to wire wrap them on here. Okay. And I'm going to make sure that little guy's tucked in. You want to be real careful when you're working with seed beads and wire that you don't crush one of them seed beads with your plier, because then you'd be in a problem. Because it'll crack off because they're glass. All right. So now here's what we're starting to get. Cute, right? So I'm just going to keep going here. And we're just going to make, I don't know how many we'll make. It depends on how we feel. I know I want to make at least 3 or 4. And then we're going to add in this chain too. So we can't forget about that. We have two types of chain here that we're also going to add on. But for the most part, I'm focusing on getting the sparkle in there. And so I'm just going now. If you want to, again, see exactly how I'm doing it, you can, let's see, you can skip back on that timestamp situation, as I said. Okay, so I'm just wire wrapping these up. I'm sure most of you have been watching Sarah Ellis do wire wrap for however long she's been doing it. I don't even know, because she's like the queen. She's the queen of wire wrap. So, you know. All right. It's got my tassel on there. Now I'm going to go with some more of these little strawberry seed beads or crystals. And I'm going to add maybe some yellow into this side. You can do this however you see fit. You could do them all the same if you wanted. I just feel like not doing them the same. That's pretty normal for me. I'm pretty like... Oh, we need like a big sparkly one. Here's a cube bead. Oh, needs like a... these are cute. Got some sparkly here. Let's see. Put this little orange guy on there. I am also not going to make all of my tassels the same length. So some are going to be shorter than others. Put this cube in there. I want to use this flower one on the top. Isn't that cute? Yeah. All right. So again, I'm going to the middle and fold that guy over. Put him right onto my large link. And wrap him on. Now, to show you guys, before I make another one of these little doodly bobbers, I'm going to add some chain on here so you guys know what I'm talking about with the chain and how that's going to look. Okay. So I think I'm going to use this, do I want to use both? Let's see. I mean, that one's kind of cute. It's got drops. Let's use this one. So I'm not going to use the flower one. I'm going to use this drop one. Again, all of these things are available on Jesse James Beads. So, but you see here how I could add a little something here to this end one. Or I can go in here with my clipper. And I'm not going to clip the link or the little jump ring. I'm going to clip the link. I'm going to try to, ever so slightly. Yeah, got it. So just take that little link off the end. So then this is the drop at the bottom. Now I could add something, which I probably will, onto this little link right here. For the most part, I'm going to cut this little link. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the little bars, and I'm cutting the 5th bar. I'm not cutting the link, I'm cutting the bar, because I don't have anything around me right now that's super tiny to get into that little hole. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on with a jump ring. I've got some gold jump rings to match, and I'm just going to get this guy on there so you can see what he looks like. Okay, so I'm just going to take my jump ring and I'm going to put him in this loop right here. And I'm going to add him in between our crystal. crystal dangles. I'm just gonna get him on there. I know this looks like a big old hot mess right now, but trust me, it's coming along. Yeah. All right, now, do I want to put a little something on there? I think I do. Do I have a gold head pin? I do. I do have a gold head pin. So you could also make your own head pin if you wanted. I am going to use this little gold head pin with a ball head pin. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little something on here. I think I want to use just one of these littlest crystals. And so I'm just going to put him on there. And just going to wire wrap him up. And I'm going to add him right on here to this link. Just to kind of bring this chain into our design, if you know what I'm saying. Okay. Spin him a couple of times. I'm going to make him kind of messier with all this extra stuff I got going on. I'm going to give him a trim. And tuck him in. Perfect. Alrighty. So what we got so far. Okay. Love it. I love it. All right. Now, I'm going to add another bit of that chain. This time, I think I'll go, how many did I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, maybe 4 is okay. Maybe I'll do 3. So I have to trim off here this little link. By all means, if you can cut the links and, you know, have a little wire small enough to go in there, do that. 1, 2, 3, 3. So I'm going to cut the 4th one so that you're not losing any of your material. I, however, do not have anything small enough to fit in there, so I'm just doing what I can. I'm going to cut 2 of these that have 3 lengths of bar in them and add those to our little tassel. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And these are easy peasy because you just add these with the jump ring. And so, just add him, 1 on each side. Now, if you had some charms or whatever, you could be adding those on here too. Okay. Okay. So here's what it's looking like. And I'm going to do 2 more shorter tassel crystals right there. And then we can get to stringing this boy up. Okay, so I'm just going with my little tassels. This is a fun project for the tassels. If you guys get Jesse James bead tassels and you're like, hey, where can I put these? This is a good spot for them. Okay, now I'll just go with my little crystals. Now, like I said, these ones are just going to be shorter ones. Just maybe a few of these little seed beads, crystal, and a few little seed beads. Probably be good. Put this yellow one on there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, I'll put him on this side. I'm putting him on this side because he does have the other flower tassel. Hey, seed beads falling off. What are you doing? He does have the other tassel, flower tassel, and I don't want them both to be on the same side. If that makes sense. So, just get him on there, wrap him around. Call that a day. Easy busy. And one more. One more. One more. And this one is for that other little leather tassel that we used. And we'll just get him wound up on there. Now, if you ever get wonky with your wire, like I just did, you can take your chain nose and ever so slightly pull it down and squish it so it comes together instead of being all strung out, you know. Okay, and then again on this side, just a crystal and a few seed beads. All right, get on there, seed beads. Seed beads, seed beads. Get on there. I'm going to put a little crystal on the top here. And one more orange seed bead. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah. All right. This is the last one of these bad boys. Okay. So now I'm making sure to put him over here on the other side of this What's going on here? On the other side of this black enameled chain. Get him on there. Okay. What are you doing? Get on there. I feel like one of my beads fell off. Which it probably did, so I'm gonna put it back on. Maybe I'm gonna put it back on. Get on there. Do you ever just talk to your project? Are you ever just like, okay, we can do this? Because I do. Maybe I'm the only one. I doubt it. You guys are cool. Okay, wrap him on there. Get that out of the way. And tuck that little wire in ever so slightly up against those glass seed beads. And, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we got. These little guys are tangled. There we go. This is what we got. I know it was a bunch of like twisting and moving around and all kinds of stuff, but this is what we have, and I like it. Now, here's the question. Do you want to put a charm in the middle of there? I do want to put a charm in the middle of there. I don't know what charm though. I guess we shall see about that. You can put this little tassel on there. Oh, he looks cute. Doesn't he look cute? Oh, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm just going to open this up. And I'm just going to put him right on there. On that jump ring. Oh, isn't he cute? Look at there. All right. So, this is our... Of course, you can add more beads to these little danglies if you'd like. You can, do whatever you want with that. Now we're going to move into the necklace portion. All right, guys. So this is what we got going on. I have taken the rest of this chain and I have cut it so that it's even. And I'm going to attach it with the jump ring to our pendant. So I'm not going to go into this first link. I'm going to go the one closest to the bar on each side. Maybe. There we go. And so now I have one on each side, and I'm going to attach this to our pendant jump ring. And I'm going to just make sure this is nice and tight. And then this is what we have. Oh, I'm tangled up here. Tangled up. Hold on. How'd you get in there? All right, so this is what we got. Okay, and so when it hangs, it's going to hang straight. Now, I've taken the beads and I have divided them into two piles. You want to make sure you're doing that when you have a bead mix left over to make, so you don't, because you don't want to run out of beads. You don't want to be in a situation where you have no beads. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some stringing. And I'm just going to show you this one side on camera, how I'm doing it, because I don't want this video to be a gazillion years long. But, so what I'm doing is I got my string ready to go here. I'm adding a jump ring to this, and I'm going to add again to the link closest to the bar. And I'm going to just close that up. And you could use smaller jump rings. You could use oval jump rings. You can use whatever you want. I'm just have these handy, so I'm just making sure that's on there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this pile, because this is divided, and I'm just going to start stringing up what I think should go here. And easy peasy from here on out. So you just make your little design, whatever you think should be down here towards the bottom. And we just use up the rest of this bead mix and let that be that. You know. So I'm just adding on here. It's amazing, like once I get a mix going and I'm like, oh, like there are a lot more beads in here than I thought there was. I wanted to make sure, you know, I'm using them. Oh, so that's one of those cool little flower ones. Bum-ba-da. Easy peasy. All right, so I will tie this portion off. So I'm using, just for the purpose of this video, I am using Beadalon's Ready wire, just because it's faster. But if you're using your jump rings and your, you know, soft flex or whatever beading wire you like to use, that's fine. It's fine. I'm just using this because it's quicker for me right now. And just bring this little guy down here. I do want to make sure I'm leaving enough where this isn't like super choked up. Like it's got to be able to move a little bit, you know, be a little flexible. So just going to go in and crimp this. These Beadalon wires are super fantabulous if you've never used them. They have this special crimper you got to get. But they're really nice. Cut that off. Okay, so there's one side. Now we'll go to the other side. You see how quick that is? Easy peasy. So again, with our jump ring, do I have a jump ring out here? Here we go. I was like, I know I have a whole tube of these babies. Okay, again, going to the link closest to the bar, putting that on, and then going with my strand here. Oh. Well, you know what that means. All right. I want to make sure this jump ring that I'm using is nice and closed up here. I don't want anything being a problem. And then I just do the same exact pattern on the other side. And I've already laid the beads out, so I know I'll have enough. So that's easy. Let's do that. Just following up this pattern. Do, 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 do. And a rondelle. What's going on here? There we go. So need to use a little strength, I guess. Isn't that like sorting them out for each side super amazing? I love it. Then you ain't gotta worry. Alright. So there's what she looks like. I'm just double checking that it's the same. You always want to double check. And it is. So I will finish this side here. So with these ready-made things, you kind of got to give them a little bend so they can get up in this crimpy thing easily. Bring it down. Make sure it's got a smidge of wiggle space. Which looks like it does. These little tubes got like teeth inside of them that bite down. They're super amazing. Do the little pull test and give it a cut. Alrighty. So, you guys, we're almost done. You could stop here if you want. If you wanted to just add a clip on there with a little extender chain, you'd be good to go for, you know, a 16, 18-inch necklace with the extender. If you're like me and you're like, no, it must be long, we have to keep going, then we keep going. We bring in the fairy silk. So I am going to use a part of this fairy silk for another project. So I am going to just take a little snip off of here and save that. But then I'm going to take the rest of it and I'm going to just even it out. Cut right here. My scissor needs work, I guess. And I'm going to tie a knot with just an overhanded knot for these two sides over here. And this stuff is super amazing. I'm not worried about the knot coming out. I'm not worried about any of it. It sticks to itself pretty good. Pull it down. We're not worried about them tails right now. We can worry about that afterward. And then I got my bigger jump rings. You know, I wish I had some textured jump rings, but I do not. So that's fine. You're just going to bring in your bigger jump ring. Put it on here. You could also wire wrap this if you'd like. You could, you know, add more of that big girl chain so it matches, and put a clip on it if you want to. But To me, this is like the funnest way. Okay, so here's the only kicker. You want to make sure that these two are on the same side. Same strand. Okay. And now, I'm going to move you up a little bit. Whew. Okay, and now this is our necklace. Tassel, get your little self figured out here. Get your little self figured out. You could even, you know, if you didn't have another project you were going to use this on, you could go down here and put that couple little pieces of fairy silk. That would be cute, but I need this little piece. Alrighty, ladies and gents. Now, if you wanted to, you know, this scissor is horrendous, so I'm not going to do too much cutting here, but you could give this a little snip. Yeah, I better not be snipping too much with this horrendous scissor. All right. There she is, folks. All dressed up. I am going to take some photos. So that's what I got going on today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed to Thunderhorse Descendant, please head over to Thunderhorse Descendant. I'll leave a little logo on the screen at the end of the video so you can get to my channel. Subscribe and then ring the bell for notifications. I will be doing, like I said, 4 videos using all Jesse James bead components for the month of December. Next week, I am going to be doing some other projects, and it won't be nearly as intricate as this one was. But yeah, I got some fun projects planned. So make sure you subscribe, leave your girl a like, a comment to help support my channel, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.